Chat, it's been a couple days since UFC 322, and I have finally overcome the depression that overcame me after those last two fights on the main card. Horrendous MMA on display. The worst type of competitors on full display in the last two fights of this card. It was just so bad, man. Completely killed the vibe and ruined the excitement that this card had built up. But we'll get to that later. First, I want to break down what happened on the prelims, starting with Vyacheslav Borshev versus Mateus Camelo. Mateus Camelo came in as the favorite. Like I said in my predictions, easy win for Camelo. Came out here, showed Borshev levels, and it was a decent start to the card. Nothing crazy. Then, following them, we had Susurkaya versus Mechanico. Mechanico showed to be a pretty decent fighter. Was really solid. Didn't seem like Susurkaya should have been minus 1,000. That's an insane favorite compared to what the actual fight was. I think that's a similar betting line to like Amanda Nunes versus that one girl that beat her, whatever her name is, bro. I already forgot her name. That's how horrendous the women's divisions are. But Susurkaya was able to get it done in the third round. Didn't really look dominant, but he was able to find a solid shot after Mechanico created an angle for a 1-2 down the middle, put Mechanico down. Susurkaya keeps it going, but honestly, he doesn't look like he's going to be a really promising prospect. He's just not imposing enough in the octagon, and he's probably going to hover around top 15, top 10. I don't think he'll ever break into top 5 or any higher than that, the middleweight division. Then we had Angela Hill versus Fatima Klein. For once in women's MMA, a promising up and coming prospect does not get taken out by an old vet. Fatima Klein beats Angela Hill over the course of 3 rounds. Nothing really else to say about that fight. It was pretty boring to watch. Just had it on in the background. Then we had Pat Sabatini versus Chepe Mariscal. Pat Sabatini, crafty old vet. How old is this guy? Bro, Apology so much better, bro. How old is Pat Sabatini? Pat Sabatini. Age. The brother is 35. Old crafty vet. Confirmed. Um, yeah, man. Went in there and did his thing against Chepe Mariscal. Out grappled him. Chepe Mariscal couldn't get anything done after this first round. And Pat Sabatini made it look easy in there. Then we had Kyle Dawkins coming in against GM3. Kyle Dawkins, the Dark Knight. Bro, something has to be said about the commentary team. DC is on commentary acting like he can't believe that Kyle Dawkins is about to snatch up a Darce, despite the fact that this guy's name is the Dark Knight, bro. Dominic Cruz might have been right about him. How do you not even like put two and two together? It's literally the guy's nickname. But anyways, Kyle Dawkins gets GM3 out of there early in the fucking first round via submission. Just really made it look easy, man. GM3 got straight cooked. Then, guys, we had a last minute replacement. Ethan Ewing coming in here against Malcolm Wellmaker. He was originally supposed to fight Cody Haddon. Cody Haddon had to pull out of the fight. Ethan Ewing came in here 48 hours notice, and he just pieced up Malcolm Wellmaker, and Malcolm Wellmaker wasn't able to find any shots. He can't put any shots down the middle. All of his strikes are hooks. Um, Ethan Ewing was just piecing him up, jabs and straights down the middle, finding Wellmaker's head. Wellmaker freezes a lot in his head movement, almost like he has to think too much about his head movement and it doesn't come to him naturally. So there would be times where mid head movement, he would just pause in a position and Ethan Ewing would just tag him with one or two jabs, a soft 1-2 down the middle. Nothing really effective, but he was just getting points up while Malcolm Wellmaker was whiffing on his big power punches. Malcolm Wellmaker also didn't use kicks to set anything up like he did against Chris Moutinho. Overall, Ethan Ewing just showed that he's a promising prospect, and Malcolm Wellmaker, if he can find a big shot on you, might put you out. But if you have any sort of technical boxing and can keep yourself relatively safe, you will be able to beat him. He looked a little tired in the third round. Malcolm Wellmaker was genuinely just out of it. I think he was coming in here expecting a first round finish. He did knock down Ethan Ewing in the first round, but after that, he was just able to find no success. Wasn't able to connect on any big shots. Like I said, he was just winging hooks left and right. No shots down the middle to help him close the distance. And Ethan Ewing was just able to see everything coming after the first round because Wellmaker slowed down. And he was able to just outpoint Malcolm Wellmaker over the course of 3 rounds. Won the last 2 rounds. I think one judge scored it 30-27. And now we have a new young promising prospect in Ethan Ewing. Then we had Aaron Blanchfield versus Tracy Cortez. Just like I predicted, bro. Tracy Cortez, great vlog with Nina Drama. Good vlogs do not get you wins in MMA, bro. Aaron Blanchfield gets her out of there with the weirdest rear naked choke I've ever seen. Almost looked like a bulldogish kind of choke. Didn't even have the legs locked around the torso. Just got her out of there, bro. Tracy Cortez just looked terrible. It is what it is. Following that women's fight, we had Roman Kopylov versus Gregory Rodriguez. I thought Roman Kopylov was gonna be able to mix up his tools and get a finisher, but Gregory Rodriguez just showed that Roman Kopylov isn't really able to put all his tools together and put together combinations. Roman Kopylov wouldn't string more than 2 punches together. Gregory Rodriguez was just tagging him at range. Kopylov at one point did stun Rodriguez, I believe, in the third round, but he just did nothing with it. Continued to be super cautious, way too respectful of RoboCop's power, and that's what ultimately cost him the decision. He was just way too scared of the power that was coming back, despite being what I think is a more technical fighter. And I think that's what's gonna cost him in his career. He's just too scared to let it go, too scared to put combinations together. And if you're going in there to respect a guy with power that much, I mean, I don't think you're gonna get very far. And Gregory Rodriguez is known to be a glass cannon. In the third round, he had him hurt. Honestly, whole training camp, if I know I'm fighting Gregory Rodriguez, the moment I see him a little rocked, bro, I'm gonna just get after it because he's had his lights put out a couple times. And honestly, as long as you play it decently safe, you blitz in there, he could have found a finish, but he was just scared to use his tools and got beat for it. Then following that fight, we had my surprise of the night. Bo Nickel pieced up Rodolfo Vieira on the feet. He looked slightly improved from his previous striking displays, but still, a lot of people are giving him way more credit than I think he deserves. Rodolfo Vieira isn't really a crazy striker. He isn't a striker. He isn't a fighter where if you outstrike him, you should be getting crazy amounts of praise. It is cool to see Bo Nickel get a head kick finish. It was nice. Great. Great as a feature fight on the prelims. Set the tone for the rest of the card. Props to Bo Nickel for showing some improvement on the feet. I still don't think he's gonna be a top fighter at any point in his career. I don't think he has that dog in him, man. Honestly, I think anytime he faces any sort of resistance, he's just gonna ball up and quit. But good job on taking out Rodolfo Vieira via head kick. It was great, and like I said, set up the tone for the rest of the card, which was an absolute heater. These 3 fights on the screen right now, bro. These fights, Fed Generations, they had me so excited for the last 2 fights, the main events, the main and the co-main event. There was so much hype, man. Let's get into it. Beneil Dariush versus Benoit Saint Denis, bro. 16 seconds, man. Beneil Dariush comes in, leg kick. Um, Shoots a takedown, misses it. BSD comes up, left hook, and Beneil Dariush is face planted on the floor, bro. I think it might partially be due to the fact that he had a bad weight cut. He did miss weight, so I think probably blood pressure on the floor. He was probably seeing stars on his way out to the octagon, because of all the bright lights. I mean, he's just gonna be susceptible to any big shot putting him out. And honestly, the left hook that put him out didn't even look crazy. It did land right on the temple. I know he was seeing stars, little birdies flying around his head, and he just face planted, bro. It was genuinely like out of a comedy sketch. Bro just face planted, and then for a second is completely out, then comes up and complains to the ref. Joe Rogan called it an early stoppage. Again, these commentary guys, man, they suck. We need to pack Joe Rogan up. Dominic Cruz has to give DC even less credit for doing his studying on the fights. But yeah, Beneil Dariush got packed up. I don't know what's next for him. He's losing a lot of fights against top contenders. I remember there was a time where people were saying that he was the guy to beat Islam. Crazy how fast your career could just fall off a cliff. And speaking of careers falling off a cliff, Leon Edwards, man. This guy gave me one of my favorite, most memorable moments in the UFC when he put out Kamaru Usman in embarrassing fashion. I still remember in that fight, the media had asked him, Leon, how would it feel to make Kamaru Usman a meme? And bro, he did it. He made Kamaru Usman a meme. But how the turns have tabled, bro. Leon Edwards is now the meme. Carlos Prates put out Leon Edwards in the second round. Carlos Prates was just in that octagon, aura farming. First round, Leon Edwards comes out. He wins it, utilizes the grappling, backpacks Prates. But while he had the backpack on Prates, he hit Prates with some pitter-patter shots. And you just see Prates doing a little unimpressed face. Looking at the camera like, what is this guy doing? Round ends. Second round starts up. A minute and a half into the second round, Prates closes the distance. Leon Edwards tries backing up, but Prates is just too long. Catches Leon with a 2 straight down the pipe, right on Leon's shin. And Leon goes down hard to the canvas. He's smiling, man. This hurt. This was like one of those moments for me where a small moment feels way longer than it is. Bro, I'm looking at the screen and I just see Leon smiling, bro. Like smiling as Carlos Prates dives in for a follow-up shot. Keep in mind, bro, I'm used to seeing Carlos Prates walk off on KOs, bro. I don't know if he has something against Leon, but this guy comes in here diving for another shot on a smiling, out cold Leon Edwards, man. Leon Edwards was just a ghost trapped in a body, man. Couldn't move, smiling at Prates, and boom, just gets hit again. And he's just smiling at the ref, man. It was sad to watch, because Leon Edwards gave me such a great moment. I had Prates winning by KO, but it's just the sequence was crazy, man. Leon is now on a 3-fight losing streak. He's lost by sub, lost by decision, and now got KO'd. I don't think he said anything about what's next for him, if he's gonna retire or keep it pushing. I think he might keep it pushing. And honestly, I hope his next fight is a safe fight, bro. Like, I have nothing against Leon Edwards. Gave me one of the best memories I'll ever have as an MMA fan. And I hope that he's able to, you know what I'm saying, get a couple wins before the end of his career. Because he deserves them. Then after that, we had more middleweight action. Then after that, we had more welterweight action with Sean Brady taking out Michael Morales. Sean Brady making a low IQ career decision. Sean Brady was promised a title shot. And what does he do? He says, nah, man, I'm a dog. Give me one of the most dangerous guys in the division and Michael Morales, the undefeated prospect. And lo and behold, man, Sean Brady comes in here with a terrible game plan. Michael Morales is low in a low stance, hips all the way back. There's like 2 meters between Sean Brady and Michael Morales' hips. I mean, Michael Morales looked huge in there against Sean Brady. I don't think Sean Brady could have ever found a moment in that fight to take a good shot to take him down. And he just gets TKO'd, man. Sad. I don't know why he took the fight. Um, Michael Morales made it look super easy. Range was just way too crazy for Sean Brady to deal with. But I will say, Michael Morales, what is that boxing, man? This guy could not throw a regular two. All of his twos were like sloppy overhands against Sean Brady, who has really bad boxing defense. I think up against an elite striker like Carlos Prates or JDM, they will be piecing this guy up because the jab isn't going to be enough for him. And bro, that sloppy overhand is not going to be landing clean on the likes of Ian Gary, Carlos Prates, JDM. It's just he has to fix up that hole in his game with the boxing. Um, yeah, I think he's had a lot of favorable matchups. Hasn't gone up against many of the strikers on his way up the division. He is looking at a potential title shot. The welterweight division right now is crazy. It's sensational, man. Um, I do want to see one of these guys go up against Kamaru Usman. I think the winner of Bilal versus Ian Gary. Man, I honestly don't know who should fight Islam. Spoiler alert, if you don't know by now, Islam beat JDM. We'll get to that in a bit. But the welterweight division is a banger. I think I'm going to drop a separate video trying to match make the welterweight division because honestly, it seems super fun right now. But anyways, guys, after that, we have nothing but pain and suffering for 50 minutes. Just watching this brings the depression back, man. Valentina Shevchenko lays in praise on Zhang Weili for 5 whole minutes, and she just completely ruins the vibe of the fight. I said in my prediction that I could see Valentina Shevchenko smudging Zhang Weili, and man, watching it happen after what was the most action-packed first 3 fights on a main card this whole year just sucked the soul out of me, man. It was so sad. I remember after those first 3 KOs, I was so confident that JDM versus Islam Makhachev was going to finish in a JDM finish just because all the strikers were getting their way. And then Valentina just comes out and reminds me of the possibilities of the worst outcomes possible, man. Resigns herself to staying in half guard the whole fight. Just plays it safe every round. Boom, gets a takedown, half guard. Boom, gets a takedown, half guard. And that was the story for 25 minutes. Zhang Weili wasn't able to get anything going on the feet. In my opinion, bad showing for both women. Zhang Weili just looked tiny in there compared to her. And it is what it is, man. Zhang Weili's probably going to go back down and beat Mackenzie Dern, get her belt back. And, it is what it is. Then we had JDM versus Islam Makhachev. Same thing, bro. takedown in a half guard. Then they would get into like this curled up side control position. Islam Makhachev decided he was going to take zero risk trying to snatch up a second belt. And it was honestly just the worst possible outcome for this fight that I thought was going to be super exciting, bro. Gave zero space for JDM to create any scrambles. Um, he attempted like one darts in the fight. JDM defended it wonderfully. JDM wasn't able to get any sprawls going. He was wincing the whole fight, which is something he normally does when he's taken down. You know, we saw this against Hafez and Gilbert Burns. Um, I don't know if he was fighting an injury or something coming into his fight, but bro, just like he wasn't able to create any space on the floor to scramble, and Islam Makhachev just controlled him for 19 minutes. Landed zero big shots on the feet. I've seen people on Twitter glazing the leg kicks. Yeah, cool. I don't think those leg kicks really did anything, especially when JDM is able to switch stances effortlessly. I don't know why JDM came out here and tried to fight the whole fight in southpaw. I would have much preferred for him to be in the opposite stance to Islam. Um, I think it would have made it easier for him to keep his hips away for the takedown attempts. But yeah, man, JDM just wasn't able to do anything this fight. A sad showing of MMA. I don't know how people support fighters like Islam Makhachev. I was literally telling my friends I respect Islam because on the ground, at least he's always chasing a finish or looking to advance position. And then he comes out and he does this, man. Jesus Christ. I don't know what's going on with these guys, but bro just decided, oh, I'm going to have the most boring performance of my life. I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to take zero risk. I don't know if they realize that they're in the Ultimate Fighting Championship, but bro came in with a game plan to just hug JDM and show him nothing but love. And he did that for a whole 19 minutes. Got a second belt on his waist. And ruined a sensational card. Honestly, if it was just Valentina versus Zhang Weili, that was boring, and this fight was a straight banger with, you know, two guys that came in here to scrap and not just the guy that came in here to hug and play it safe, this card probably would have been like an 8.5 or 9 out of 10. This main card was sensational. But it ended the way it is, the way it did. Hopefully JDM bounces back, bro. I genuinely believe that JDM is still a top fighter. He just found out that there's something in this game that he has to improve. Better to realize that at 28 than in his 30s, right? He's still super young, and I think that he's gonna come back and improve on that part of that part of his game. He looks sensational in terms of jiu-jitsu defense, so already has that down. Did it made it look easy to stay out of danger with the one sub attempt Islam actually went for. He was going for some arm bars as well, but those were never or not regular, but like Kimura's and like the type of the arm lock that Tom Aspinall got on Volkov. But yeah, not really much went down the fight. Both men came out with zero damage. Ultimate Hugging Championship in full effect. Get these guys out of the sport. Honestly, we're here for entertainment. We're not here for hugging. This guy should just go do sambo tournaments in his motherland because that's what they like to do. Yeah, guys, let me know what you guys thought about UFC 322. What fights do you think should come up next in the welterweight division? What do you guys think about the main and co-main event? Let me know down in the comments below. Like up the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.